Welcome to this presentation of UPSL Soccer Action, live on YouTube and presented by the Atlantic Soccer Media Group.
And welcome back once again to Charlie Jordan Field here at Shiloh High School for this second part of our doubleheader. Kalonji Pro Profile taking on FC Atlanta. Larry Weber here alongside Andre Bomar. And Andre, we've already had a fantastic match to get this night kicked off with that FC Birmingham win over SSL. Now you have the powerhouse that is Kalonji Pro Profile taking on FC Atlanta.
Yeah, and it's a must-win for Kalonji Pro Profile under the circumstances, with Georgia Revolution having won earlier in the day, defeating UMA by the score of 2-1. So this puts Kalonji in a must-win situation where they have to try to get something. If they hope to have a chance at the division title, they got to stay in pace with them, because both Dalton United, who already has a point advantage over them, they're going to have to keep that going in order to stay with an opportunity to get back into that division title situation, which is what they want to own. That's something that they used to do every season back in the early days of the Georgia Conference, but now there's a lot more competition for that coveted title.
Yeah. Kalonji Pro Profile absolutely owned this UPSL Georgia Conference in the 2022 season, winning both the spring and fall season. Took the spring season off in 23, came back in fall of 24, and struggled in fall of 23. And then this 24 season looked really good in the spring season, winning, moving on to the national tournament, losing to what was the national champions, Soda City. And they're trying yet again here to battle for another regular season title.
Yeah, from FC Atlanta's point of view, they want to stay safe. And so they had a really good win last week against Georgia Athletic. Now they're trying to get to be safe. They got to really see if they can secure at least 2 more points in their final 2 games.
FC Atlanta are going to get us underway. They're in their traditional navy blue kits, tops, white shorts, moving from right to left. Kalonji Pro Profile in their home white kits, moving from right to left.
High pressure already
from
Kalonji.
From left to right.
Left to right.
I get it right. Right to left, left to right. Good attack
already
from Kalonji Pro Profile. FC Atlanta, clear it out. FC Atlanta, right to left. Kalonji, left to right. Now you're up to date.
There we go. We got our left and rights right.
Right.
Well, what a start for Kalonji. That high pressure really paying dividends right there, with an opportunity to get an early lead. And that's one of the strengths of Kalonji, is the speed, tenacity. They have a very, very experienced club here.
They've got their captain back tonight, Kamani Irving.
Yeah, you got Kareem Tamimi in the center of attack for them.
Anthony Sumo trying to make his way through the defense, starting in his traditional right position, right winger position, even though he has that solid left foot. FC Atlanta playing in a 5-4-1 tonight. Kalonji Pro Profile in a traditional 4-3-3.
Yeah, Sumo likes to come on to this right. He's a very heavily left-footed player, but he likes to cut in.
Great ball in, headed! Oh, and it's just wide.
Thought that was going to dribble in. Man, it happened so quickly. The ball come in long, from the long cross into the middle. So we'll see here. Come out left side. Lots of space on that left side. Just has time to put it in there. Got the head on it, but could not direct it onto the goal mouth.
It's going to be a first corner of the night for Kalonji Pro Profile. Tony Tiente. It's going to be an in-swinger. Into the box, headed down and in!
Just like that. That pressure, just relentless.
Sumo!
And boy, nice delivery, FC Atlanta. Question marks about the marking there. But really, what can you do against a talent like Sumo coming through here? You see here, expertly delivered. Sumo just ran in. Defender tried to stay with him, but unfortunately, he just could not keep pace with Sumo coming in with that big frame of his. Got the head on it, directed it down. 1-0 to Kalonji Pro Profile.
3 minutes in, Anthony Sumo with a goal.
And it's going to be a tough night for FC Atlanta to really do this where they can keep the pressure off themselves and try to get forward with their own pressure onto Kalonji. It's going to be a tough task to overcome.
And Kalonji Pro Profile really put it on themselves, put the pressure on themselves with that loss to Georgia Revolution for the regular season title, even though we know that they're clearly going to be into the playoffs, more than likely going to host a first-round playoff match.
Yeah, but what counts is the title itself, and that's what they want to get back to. They want to get the division title for bragging rights here. But you're
Foul
right, they
going
are
to be
going
committed there on Anthony Sumo. That is a large frame to hit the ground.
Yeah, felt the vibrations up here.
Dre said that, Sumo, not me.
I meant that in a good way.
I said that a couple seasons ago, and he found we were at an indoor match. He goes, "It was you." I was like, "No."
Well, I'm going to point to you if he asks me.
We love to have some fun. That ball headed out by Salazar. It'll be a throw for Kalonji Pro Profile. Kalonji Pro Profile looking very professional already here in 5 minutes into this match.
They look in total control. They've been relentless with the pressure. Whenever FC Atlanta have had it, look comfortable in possession now. This is the Kalonji we're used to seeing.
FC Atlanta, a team that's had their struggles throughout the season. At home, they're 1-2-3, but when it comes to being away, they're 0-2-3. So
yes,
being on the road has been far more difficult.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. Are they waiting for somebody to
track that ball down as it
There's a lot of standing
around?
around.
Yeah, a lot of people are waiting for that. And we're currently sitting in a nice, brisk.
Yeah, they're waiting for somebody to go get the ball. That's all. I thought maybe there was some kind of discussion going on over on the bench, but the ball was sitting over there out of bounds, and nobody was going to get it.
Yeah, but the weather box says it's 57, but it does not feel like it's 57 anymore.
It feels colder than that, to be honest. Of course, when you get my age, everything feels cold. Here's Kalonji setting up. FC Atlanta's kind of staying off, and there's a little bit of attempt to press here. Easily handled by Kalonji. That's the thing, up into the Georgia Revolution game.
It's going to be foul there.
Kalonji were perfect on the season. No draws, no losses. And that one loss has put them behind just a bit and taken the incentive out of their own hands because Dalton United have a point on them on the same number of games. But, of course, we know last game of the season, Dalton United, Kalonji Pro Profile.
That is going to be fireworks and could be the regular season title. Depending on what happens with the rest of the Georgia Revolution are going to say, we beg to differ.
Well, and for
they
Kalonji,
are back in the top spot as Dalton United did not play this weekend due to U.S. Open Cup responsibilities. They fell in an Open Cup qualifier last night.
Good run for them. They fell in the third round qualifier. They won the two previous rounds. Did very well against a very, very good South Indiana team who also were undefeated. They were going up against. So they will go on into the U.S. Open proper.
It's always good to see. There were 56 teams from the UPSL that entered the qualifying matches.
Yeah, I suspect next season we'll see more from the Georgia Conference as well that are going to enter into the U.S. Open Cup. I've been in talks with a handful of teams that want to participate.
Long ball cleared out from Kamani Irving. Kareem Tamimi trying to get there. He is. But he's going to be called for the foul.
And Tamimi's going to be one to watch, former Atlanta United 2 player. Coming back to finish the season with Kalonji Pro Profile. We'll probably see Junior Sandoval in the playoffs, also coming back for Kalonji.
We originally had seen that Grant Carr was going to start as a substitute, but he got the starting spot instead of Demise.
Yeah, last-minute change, I guess, from the coach.
We do see that Caleb Kalonji is back in the starting 11 for Kalonji Pro Profile.
Yes, winner of the fans' favorite goal. We've yet to present the plaque to him. We're going to have another contest at the end of this season where the fans can get involved in voting for their favorite goal of the season. But right now there's the matter of FC Atlanta trying to turn things around here against Kalonji. Here they are in possession.
Leon gives it to Salazar. Salazar's going to go back to Morales. Lose possession. Kalonji's going to send it forward.
Chance to break.
That one's not going to get to Anthony Sumo. Keeper having to come way out of his box.
Oh, boy.
Hollander making it interesting. Here comes Duran. He's going to lay it off to Salazar. And a nice little spin move by Salazar to not take that challenge by Phillip.
FC Atlanta keep possession with the throw in.
Good throw in from Salazar. Kamani coming over the top of the FC Atlanta man.
Into the referee. It's going to have to be a drop ball here.
When we have a moment, we'll talk about some of the activity that we've had throughout the league this week, as this is the last match of week 12. Talk about how the leaderboard stacks up right now.
Yeah, it's been a compelling competition, so tight at the top, tight everywhere. Relegation race for playoffs, which are now solidified after FC Birmingham's victory in our first game in this doubleheader.
Pretty turn by Tamimi. He tried to slide that one through to Sumo, not going to be able to do so.
A little too much.
Yeah, we pretty much we're locked in on the 8 teams that are going to be into the playoffs. Now it's all about knowing who is going to be placed where.
And there's the matter of the division title.
Who is going to lift the trophy? It's a beautiful trophy.
Come back.
We've also got the Golden Boot race that is now only separated by 1 point between first and second. Mark Bonneau from Potros FC sitting in the top spot with 15 goals. With 6 goals on hand yesterday. That's right, folks. 6 goals in one match. Manuel Lam.
Albion yesterday 11-0.
Emmanuel Lam finds his way into second spot, just 1 point behind, 14 points, goals scored. Anthony Sumo has won the Golden Boot in previous occasions. So has Kareem Tamimi.
A lot of
before
stars
he
out
moved
there.
on to, and that season solidified his move to Atlanta United 2s.
Yeah, he did well with them as well.
Layoff from Sumo. Ends up getting it back from the deflection. Still a fight. FC Atlanta find their way out. That ball gets knocked out. It'll be a throw.
FC Atlanta a little bit on the back foot in defense. So much firepower for Pro Profile up front there. Kareem Tamimi in the middle. Got Sumo over to the right side. Imposing figures.
Grant Carr. The only thing that I've noticed this season, Dre, and it came from late in last season, was Kalonji Pro Profile's ability to hold on. There's a yellow card. It looks like a yellow card issued to both Tamimi and number 8, Delgado.
Mixing it up a little bit. Referee is going to keep things under control here.
Keeping a tight ship. Center referee for this match is Ben Abrams. AR1, Adonis Merritt. AR2, Camille Joseph. And the fourth official, Brendan Donovan. But one of the things I noticed late in the national tournament and then what we saw throughout some of this fall season, Dre, is how Kalonji were struggling to hold on to a lead.
Yeah, I think that, we've had this discussion before. I think a lot of that's down to the way the competition is now. It's a lot different than what they used to in the early seasons when they were first in the UPSL. As Kalonji come towards the box here.
Good ball. Tried to get it to Tamimi. He goes down. No foul.
No, there's no foul. You're not going to get a whistle on that.
He's got to be careful. If he just got a yellow, that could be a simulation, and he could get a second one.
Yeah, Kalonji's going to be – they're going to be heavily favored in this game, but, if they get themselves in trouble, get the man sent off, it could get interesting.
Grant Carr moving up to receive that ball. Lays it off to Kalonji. Pavlotsky. Irving's going to go back to Demise. And it looks like the late scratch for the back line wasn't Demise, but it was actually Dampfa.
Oh, yeah, he's not out there, no. Usually the captain.
He was the captain in seasons past. That title's been handed over to Kamani Irving.
Yeah, Kamani's the captain now. This is going to be the story of the game. I think Kalonji's going to stay in control. They're going to have the lion's share of possession. He tried to skip through the middle there.
Tiente was trying a little 1-2 there with Tamimi, as Tamimi had just driven through 4 FC Atlanta players.
What a front three for Kalonji. All top quality. You got Tiente, Tamimi, and Sumo.
And like you said, Dre, with talking with Coach Bruno, you're looking at the likes of Junior Sandoval coming back into the roster.
Yep, he'll be back most likely for the playoffs from talking with Coach Bruno.
You see, there was a couple weeks that Daniel Tomasi and Kalen Kalonji had stepped away for other duties within Kalonji Pro Profile, so the younger squad had been away on other duties, and the veterans came back into form. And now you have the likes of Kofi Tumasi and Tamimi and others coming back. So this
deep experienced squad.
Tamimi's going to receive that deflection. Works around 2 players beautifully. Gives it back to Irving. In the back line, he's going to come over to Demise. Tiente is going to make his way forward. Gives it to Phillip. Demise is going to switch play over to Carr. He's going to control it. Beautiful control from Carr. Gives it off to Tamimi. He's going to dance around one player. Gives it to Tiente right in the central of the pitch, but not able to control it as Duran takes it off of him. Salazar now. He's going to give it back to Duran. Good ball out of a jam. Zualaga tried to send that forward to an on-runner, looking for Delgado or possibly Leon.
Yeah, not on the same page, but it was that was going to be a ball that was going to be hard to catch up to, even if the person had tried to make the run.
Sumo loses possession. Good tackle by Rosillo.
This is better from FC Atlanta, a little bit more composed, having some possession here.
Just kind of slow the match down.
Oh,
loses possession there.
Did he not see him? I don't think he saw the defender when he made that pass back right in front of goal. Here they go again.
White holds it up. Shot taken, deflected off of Leon. White was right there in the middle of the park, and that pass went right to him. If he would have been just 1 second faster, that could have been 2 goals.
I think he was just as surprised that the ball was at his feet, that he hesitated a little bit. It was just enough of hesitation to put him off.
Tiente.
Dangerous, though, for from the FC Atlanta point of view.
Fluid motion from Kalonji. Carr's able to get enough on it to get it back to Irving. He's going to switch play over here to Phillip on the near side. Phillip moves about 10 yards forward and elects to go back to Demise. Irving now. Carr tries to thread the needle again, not going to find the hole. And it goes back into possession of FC Atlanta. Leon coming back, trying to send it forward. Poblaski cuts that pass off, lays it off to Sumo. He is onside. Sumo trying a little fancy footwork. Hits it with his left over. Tried to one-time it, and White did not get that one right at all.
Yeah, he knows it too. He's just a little bit off. Maybe took his eye off the ball a little bit. Goal kick for FC Atlanta. Here we go. Sumo with his patented footwork there. Left-footed cross. White just whiffed it. Just missed it. And those attempts, those volley attempts can be a lot harder than they look.
Defender is going to get us underway. Hollander is able to get it out. Delgado loses possession. Kalonji again, 1-2. Shot taken and controlled by Hollander. I think that was White again. That time shot on goal.
FC Atlanta under a lot of pressure here in defense. Need to try to get a little bit of possession and move it up the field a little bit. Still down 1-0 in the game, though.
Rosillo gives it to Salazar. He's going to go back to Leon, who was just coming through center circle. Avendano loses that pass that he was trying to send forward. Kalen Kalonji. Phillip now.
Oh,
right
nice
to Tamimi.
He's on.
He's offsides.
Oh,
Center, or the AR called him offside.
I swear I thought he was on. I am not in the best position, though. I'll trust the AR here. I thought when the ball was played there, he's off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's off.
Good
You could tell
call
by
by
the
the AR.
Yeah, you could tell by the line there.
One of the few times that the American football lines come through.
It's the only time.
Hollander gets us back underway. Kamani Irving sends it long to Tamimi. Calling him offsides, coming back from an offsides position.
FC Atlanta holding tough here. Settling it down. They're looking a little bit better. I think they were kind of shell-shocked to that early goal.
Yeah, that goal coming in the 3rd minute.
But they've adjusted, settled down. Done much, much better here in the last few minutes. 22nd minute here in the first half.
Kalen Kalonji lays it off. White gives it back to him. Carr pressured, sent forward. Not able to get that to Tamimi. FC Atlanta with some good passing, getting out of a jam. Delgado.
Oh, nice down the right side.
Duran is going to try to receive it, but Kamani Irving snuffs that pass out. Phillip now. He's got space to work. Gives it to Sumo. He's just going to give it back to Phillip. Demise now. Goes back to the captain. Slides over to Carr. White Turns, gives it back to Carr. And we start all over again. Kamani going over here to Tiente. Trying to get it up to Tamimi. Lose it. But high pressure from Kalonji Pro Profile. Will be a throw, though, for FC Atlanta.
Yeah, anytime FC Atlanta are in possession, it really is very, very close contact in defense as they close down any FC Atlanta player with the ball.
Avendano with the throw. Headed forward from Salazar. Taken down in a pirouette of a foul on Delgado.
They should take their time here, set up.
Indeed.
Try to hold possession. Don't try anything.
Try not to go too fast.
Low, not no low percentage.
Leon and Zulaga is over the ball. Zulaga is going to be the one that's going to take this. This one is roughly 49, 50 yards out. So this one's just going to be sent forward. Nice high ball, but it's going to bounce through. It'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, that's a low percentage. Like I say, you just don't want to just give it right back to them. Try to hold some possession, maybe a little bit shorter, work your way into it. They've been doing well with that in the last few minutes, but.
And especially with Lionel Sakui, the keeper, not really doing a lot of work for Kalonji Pro Profile here in these first 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to beat Kalonji with long balls like that. They're very organized in defense, and they hit so hard on the counter.
That ball makes it through to Tamimi. He dances, takes it with his right, bounces off the bar, but it's going to bounce off the American football bar, and it's going to be a corner for Kalonji Pro Profile.
I guess, yeah. Tamimi, good footwork to get through, to get the shot off. Critical save. So he knocks it up off of the gridiron crossbar.
It allows Tony Tiente to get ready for another in-swinger. Tried to head that one again as Sumo, but that time he does not find.
Oh, he kept it in for FC Atlanta to take.
Unfortunately, just nobody there. That ball was just sent to nowhere land.
I don't know if he thought somebody was running there, but.
And all that did was allowed Kalonji Pro Profile to get repositioned.
Oh, wasteful.
FC Atlanta completely compressed in their third.
They're going to have to get some courage, though. I mean, you're already a goal down. At some point, you're going to have to push forward, take a chance.
Tamimi receives it. That ball's going to bounce. It will be a corner.
Yep, off the FC Atlanta player.
It's not often that we talk about how productive Kalonji Pro Profile has been with set pieces like this, Dre.
That's true. I mean, they have a lot of weapons to choose from.
Here comes another in-swinger from Tiente. Good ball. Cleared away by FC Atlanta. Leon just headed that one away. Irving controls it in center circle. Tiente receives it. Goes back to Demise. Carr gives it to Pavlotsky. He's going to go back to Irving. Demise. Carr. Pavlotsky. Just elects to go back to Carr, and they pass back and forth.
They're just going to bide their time, look for an opening, keep possession.
Just try to wear this FC Atlanta team down. Tamimi controls it.
Oh, look at the
makes
moves.
a spot.
Nice.
Sumo tries to back heel it back to Tamimi, not going to do so, but Carr is able to get through, gives it to Sumo. And the foul is finally called. It was advantage play because of the foul on Carr.
Sumo
Quickly, he wanted to take it quickly, but the center official tells Tiente, no, slow down.
Sumo always attract a lot of physical contact. It's the only way they think they can slow him down. Sometimes there's a bit of a hacking that goes on with him. But despite that, he always seems to come out the better. Kalonji set up for this free kick.
Eventually, we're going to get this ball where it needs to be.
It's the second time I've seen
as we're in the 29th minute.
Take forever to get the ball back into play here.
But this is a great opportunity for Tiente. Let's see what he can do with this. Headed away. Povolatsky gets there, but taken off possession. He gives a little push back to the player that took him off of his feet.
Oh, nice first touch there.
Great touch there by Rosillo. And Phillip.
That's good.
The Povolatsky still having some words with Zualaga. He did not like how he was bumped when he was in the air fighting for that ball and hit the deck hard.
Had a few words with each other.
As the temperature is dropping here in Snellville, that artificial turf gets a little bit harder.
Action's starting to heat up a little bit.
Sakui controls it, and he rifles that one forward to Sumo. He's able to get around the defender.
Saw that coming.
Lays it off. Here's a chance. Back of the net. Tamimi!
He scores on his return, the second game on his return. But, well, nice little move by Sumo coming down the near side here to get it to where he's crossing it through. Just kicks it past the defender here. He's in good shape here, and uncharacteristically with his right foot, puts it in, lays it up for Tamimi. And it's 2-0 to Kalonji Pro Profile in big command of this game right now.
That was a textbook team-controlled goal there.
Yeah, you could see it coming when you saw the ball come to Sumo. You saw that he was going to run onto it and kick it past, and that's exactly what he did.
And once he got past Avendano, number 16, he had eyes for the goal.
Yeah, and and it's unusual to see him use his right foot that way, but he put in a perfect cross to where Tamimi could just one-time it right into the back of the net.
FC Atlanta man falls on himself. The artificial turf monster got him there.
I tell you what, the thing that FC Atlanta have to look at is there's plenty of game left. You deal with things one thing at a time. You're down 2-0. You're in the middle of the first half. You have time to do something. It starts with possession. You got to keep Kalonji out and not let them score anymore as this ball goes.
Because this game could get out of hand if Kalonji Pro Profile, with the stars that they have, if they can smell blood in the water, they could pounce.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep their composure as well, FC Atlanta.
And we know that this FC Atlanta team and the sister team of Kalonji Pro Profile SSL had a very spicy and rambunctious meeting just a few weeks ago over at Silverbacks Park.
Yep, it's a game that we were broadcasting there. It got a little tough at the end. But this is an emotional game. A lot of passion involved in these matches.
Slide tackle there by Phillip will be a throw for FC Atlanta. 33rd minute. Salazar gets us back underway to Leon. He's going to switch play over to the far side. Not able to get there in time as it goes over Gonzalez and is out for a throw for Kalonji Pro Profile. Kalonji are just going to take their sweet time to go collect the ball. Expect to see a little bit more stoppage than necessary from just the delay in grabbing the ball, as that's one of the big things that they are overseeing of this season throughout the ranks of soccer is just that wasted time.
Wow, that was
unnecessarily slow.
He didn't have a lot of urgency there, but
yeah,
he did get it away. Here they come again.
Sumo's going to receive it from Tamimi. He's going to one-time it.
Sumo
with a superb goal.
He beat the keeper to the ball. I mean, the speed he has, and he's just so assured on the ball. And you see how quickly Kalonji can go when they in that transition. So you see here, just quickly done. Used his left foot, popped it underneath the goalkeeper and just slid it in. Made it look easy. But he's going to be a handful for FC Atlanta this whole game because of things like that.
And this is one of those things, Dre, where we watch. Anthony Sumo is one of those players. He's pronounced left-footed. His right is still deadly, not as much as that solid left. And he's a player that generally floats between both the right side and the left side. He always starts on the right, but eventually he floats over to the left. However, as successful as he is right now against this FC Atlanta defense, specifically number 16, Avendano, he may not want to move.
Yeah, he just has the speed that's giving him an advantage on this right side. And they have no answer for him just yet. I mean, he's been deadly with it. And, we say he favors his left foot, but even on the Tamimi goal, it was a really, really nice right-footed cross that got it over to him accurately. So you really can't even just depend on him being heavily left-footed. He can kill you either way.
Phillips trying to fancy footwork, gives it off to Tamimi. Tamimi coming to the gears, but he loses it. Phillip gets it back, though. Not the prettiest of fouls committed there by number 3, Rosillo. He is going to earn a yellow for that trouble. I was wondering because that was coming through the back of Phillip. Even though Phillip controlled it, that was kind of dangerous.
He was going to play advantage, I think, but it didn't really develop, I don't think. And
the crew of FC Atlanta trying to plead their case with the center official, not going to do so. So here in the 36th minute, it will be a yellow card for FC Atlanta.
Yeah, it's tall order for FC Atlanta now. And again, this is a must-win game for Kalonji as far as the title race. They're confirmed for the playoffs and possibly even home field. Still a bit to go. I guess not mathematically, but.
Kalen Kalonji lays it off to Mimi. Ooh, what a nice little cut there, trying to get it up to Tiente. Didn't get there. Phillip, though, he still has it. To Mimi. He's going to cut it back to Irving. Tiente now. Kalen Kalonji. Go back to Irving.
Kalonji looking very comfortable on the ball.
Swats it over to Sumo. Kalonji squad is starting to express themselves with the foot skills. Phillip working his way down the near line. And that is going to be a foul committed by number 4, Salazar.
Yeah, FC Atlanta just don't have an answer for all the talent that's coming their way. He goes in and turns on the challenge.
He just kind of shoulder tackles, more of a American football type tackle than a soccer tackle.
Another
gives
dangerous-
Tiente an opportunity. This one only about 24 yards out. Great save
good
by
save.
Hollander. That was a good shot on goal from Tiente. Will be a
Curled it.
corner.
Looking for that top right corner. But they do get the corner here. 39th minute. FC Atlanta trying to hold on here to keep them from scoring another one.
Tiente, the in-swinger. This one farther through the box, but Tamimi controls it. Povalatsky gives it back to Tamimi, and he's going to do the same. Force that one up to White. He gives it back to
he's
Tamimi,
on.
but he's going to be
Oh,
called
it's off.
offsides.
Why do I keep saying on when they're off?
Well, we are in the press box right about the 50, so
Yeah, in
the
a terrible
angle-
position to call that.
and we're a few age in our years, so our eyes are deceiving us
What are you trying to say?
that we're blind. We very happy for the products that Canon puts out that lets us see.
Well, they don't call me Four Eyes for nothing.
Hollander gets us back underway. Carr forces that one through, and it's going to make it all the way back to Hollander.
I
He
talked
gets to
about
do it all over again.
FC Atlanta, of course. Not a disaster if they lose the game. They're looking for survival. They're not in a playoff hunt or anything like that. But they do need to stay safe from the relegation zone, and they can do so if they can make sure they get to at least 2 points by the end of the season. They have another game after this.
Right now, they're in a three-way battle.
Yeah, and they're going to hope that Albion lose their last game. If they did that, they're safe now.
Because Albion, and here's another scuffle
Yeah, getting a little dicey down there.
between the two squads.
A little bit of handbags.
Right now, UMA, Albion, and FC Atlanta all sitting on 7 points.
Goal difference separating them all, and Albion has the worst goal difference.
And
he's got a
Albion
yellow
is the
card.
one that is on 12 games right now.
Yep. Referee just
FC
showed
Atlanta.
a yellow card. I didn't see who it was that he gave it to. They're still mouthing off.
Not 100% on that as well.
It was one of the FC Atlanta players that was walking away. I could not tell which one he was pointing to. Okay, is
Coming back.
it number 9?
Leon, maybe? I don't know.
No.
Or one of the defenders. Could be number 16.
We'll have to figure
Hold
that out
on.
later. But for now,
For now, we play on. As we're in the 42nd minute of this match between Kalonji Pro Profile and FC Atlanta. Kalonji Pro Profile with the 3-0 lead.
FC Atlanta want to try to maybe get in, settle down, try to get into the half without letting in any more goals. If they can snag a goal, that would be good. What's going on here?
Foul committed.
Foul.
And again,
And more talking.
this would not expect anything less from these two squads as they both.
Quite a lot at stake, too, for both teams, so emotions can run high.
Kamani Irving will get us back underway in the 43rd minute. Phillip is going to go back to Irving. Good pass to Tiente. Tamimi's going to lay it off to Carr. And Tiente receives and gives it to Pavlotsky. And Pavlotsky gives it over here to the near side. Phillip. Sumo and Phillip trade passes. And Demise now is going to go back to the captain. Irving and Kalen Kalonji share passes before Grant Carr sends it up to Tamimi. Tamimi working his way to center circle and gives it to Phillip. Sumo's going to give it back to Demise. And this loses
nice
it. Kayla Kalonji. Zualaga was tired of the passing, and Kayla Kalonji will earn a yellow for his troubles for losing possession.
Yeah, I think he got a little cross at himself, but ended up fouling and earning himself a yellow trying to get the ball back. Kind of retaliation there. But good work by FC Atlanta to take that ball back from the middle of the field. Kalonji was trying to ping that ball around a little bit, look for an opening through the FC Atlanta.
Leon's going to get us back underway. Straight into the box, but cleared away by Kalonji. Tiente receives it. He holds up, gives it to Carr. And Carr is going to give it to White. Rosillo tried a slide tackle, but there was nobody there, so he just went on a journey by himself. Phillip is going to thread the needle to Kalonji and just not able to receive it. He's going to be able to get back to Hollander. But he misses with that mistake. Gets around the keeper, lays it off to Kalonji, and a simple goal for Kalonji as they just pierce their way through that defense.
Mistake by the goalkeeper, very, very poor clearance, and that it started off because Kalonji is pressing so heavily that they're forcing mistakes just like that. I mean, just nothing to do. He tried to come in and get it back, but it was to no avail. And Kalonji now in commanding, possession of the lead here, 4-0. And we've only played the 45 minutes of the first half here. This is what you want. And, what's more critical, Larry, too, again, it looks like Kalonji is going to come through and win this.
But also, this is going to give them 27 points to put them tied with Georgia Revolution. But as of right now, they are one goal ahead of them goal differential-wise, and they'll have plus 19 to Georgia Revolution's plus 18. And if it stays like it is right now, Kalonji Pro Profile will finish the night at first place.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is that the goal difference, again, we've talked about this so much during the season. It means so much not only for the title, but, playoff places and the relegation race, because FC Atlanta are dealing with the same thing with Albion and SSL down at the bottom of the table. So scoring these goals is more than just winning for Kalonji. It's also separating that goal difference, because that could mean you could end up with 2 or 3 teams on the same amount of points, and goal difference is a tiebreaker. So they're not gonna stop. They're gonna keep trying. No matter how many goals they score tonight, they're gonna try to score as many as they can, because it means maybe the title. But FC Atlanta, they're gonna have to do something about that. They're not gonna just let Kalonji just continue to walk over them. They're gonna attempt to anyway. So we'll see.
As we are in stoppage time.
Stop the clock at 45 on the stadium clock.
See how long we play on, as we have not seen an indicator of stoppage time. There's another foul. Could we see more plastic? Indeed we will. A lot of plastic shown.
That might have an impact in the second half. We start seeing second yellows being shown.
And that's a tough one, because not only are you going to suffer a monetary fine, but you're also going to potentially miss the last match of the season. And that is the first half here in this doubleheader match between Kalonji Pro Profile and FC Atlanta. We go into halftime. Kalonji Pro Profile 4, FC Atlanta nil. And Dre, this started out very competitive, and it has started to be an absolute runaway with Kalonji Pro Profile.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games that you kind of expect to see from Kalonji. I mean, they came in, they needed to win. They got the goal difference where they needed. And FC Atlanta, of course, is always going to be an uphill battle. And they just haven't been able to quell any of the attack that Kalonji has put in this game. So I think it's going to be resetting in the second half, try to manage the damage going on, because FC Atlanta needs to watch the goal difference as well and try to keep it manageable, because you don't want them to sneak up and get a worse goal difference than Albion, which is highly unlikely, but you got to still watch out for it.
Absolutely. We'll step away for a few minutes, and then we'll come back and bring you the second half here at Charlie Jordan Field. It's currently Kalonji Pro Profile 4, FC Atlanta 0. We'll be back in a few moments. Welcome back to Charlie Jordan Field here at Shiloh High School as we sit Kalonji Pro Profile 4, FC Atlanta 0. Larry Weaver here alongside Andre Bomar. And Dre, let's take a look at some of the action throughout Week 12 as we were able to cover SSL defeating or losing to North Georgia United 2-0. North Georgia United with a massive win over Albion SC last night, 11-0. UMA FC falling to Georgia Revolution 2-1, and SSL losing to FC Birmingham 1-0. And that means as we stand right now in the leaderboard, top 8 teams are pretty much guaranteed into the playoffs, it's just a matter of structure-wise, as Georgia Athletic only have one more match to play, and they are mathematically unable to make it into the playoffs with 11 points. Same goes from the top of Georgia Athletic down to SSLSC. Now is where it's going to get tricky, because as it stands right now, Kalonji Pro Profile will walk out of this match with 3 points, which will put them at 27. And with the positive goal differential as of right now, because they have plus 19, they will jump over Georgia Revolution to 27 points. But remember, Georgia Revolution beat them. So if they were able to maintain that same goal, that same structure, that's when it gets interesting, because it starts with points, then it moves over to
goal
differential, and then it goes over to head-to-head.
Well, actually, and there's been an update I just sent you. So it's total goal difference, total goals scored, head-to-head points.
So it'll be total goals scored. And when we look at the table as it stands right now, and we take a look and try to see how many goals scored so far this season, you have Georgia Revolution. They have scored 31 goals. Kalonji Pro Profile has only scored 24. Now they've scored 28. But they're still behind in that metric as well.
It's just tight. I think the bottom line is tight. What they want to do is win their games in hand. If Kalonji wins out, because we have to remember Kalonji plays Dalton United in the last game of the season in the conference, in the division.
And that's a name that we haven't even discussed, which is Dalton United. They still have several games in hand. One of those games, which is going to be midweek this week, which is
Vino Tinto.
Vino Tinto
yeah, they
at home.
And then they got Georgia Revolution on the 23rd. November 23rd, and then they end it with Kalonji. So they have the toughest one, because they're playing three of the top teams at the top of the table in the division. So, yeah, it's wide open, kind of. I mean, anything can happen any time now, and we have those makeup games during the midweek. And so there's going to be a lot of football to look at as we start again here.
Kalonji Pro Profile get us underway here in the second half. They are in the all-white kits. They're moving from right to left. And FC Atlanta are in their traditional navy blue tops and white shorts. They are moving from left to right, excuse me.
Doing it again.
Too many lefts, too many rights. Right you are.
Oh,
good
almost skipped through there.
Work there by Demise to maintain possession for Kalonji Pro Profile.
So Kalonji's a goal for them right now is keep scoring if they can. They're going to want to increase their goal difference with the idea that if it is going to be close and if they tie in any type of form with any of Georgia Revolution or with Dalton, of course they're going to want to have the better goal difference, which is one of the tiebreakers. Not the only one, but
FC Atlanta trying to get a little bit more assertive with their attack.
Yeah, we haven't even talked much about FC Atlanta and what they're trying to accomplish with their two games out. They have this game and another game left in the season. They're tied on points with Albion and UMA.
Yeah, we're at a point right now where we almost have two different tables running at the same time, as you have the top 8 teams fighting for position into the playoffs, and then you have those teams that are from 9 to 13 fighting to stay out of that bottom relegation zone.
And that's the funny thing, because SSL have been in the relegation spot all season long, but they still have 2 games in hand over Albion, and they're only 5 points behind them in the table. So if they get results in those 2 games in hand, then they can easily jump over Albion, because Albion's goal difference is a minus 26, which is far, far more than SSL. And SSL could save themselves and come out of it. But if Albion wins their last game, which is not a certainty at all, then it makes it interesting for FC Atlanta, who also depending on the results from SSL, it's just a lot to keep track of. And we'll have to go into more detail in the Back Pass episode in this podcast this week coming up, where we kind of detail everything out, and we'll have all the graphs and figures for the fans to look at.
Some changes made in both squads at half. Daniel Tomasi, number 11, coming in for Kalonji Pro Profile. He looks to have replaced Kareem Tamimi, as I do not see him in the lineup anymore.
He's coming back after a long time out, and I'm sure that they do want to save him. This game doesn't appear to be in doubt for Kalonji. And with the crunch games coming up for Pro Profile, I'm sure they want to make sure they have their top guys ready. Most impactful couple of weeks coming up in the Premier Division here.
White gets taken off
Bowled over
of his boots right about 22 yards out. This is going to be a great opportunity for Kalonji Pro Profile.
What do you think, Tiente?
I would assume it would be Tiente. There is another substitution that was for Kalonji Pro Profile. I see that Amadard is in now. I'm just trying to verify who it was. I think it was Pavlotsky who made way.
Yeah, Sumo standing on the far side there.
You've got White and Tomasi over the ball. White's going to take it right off of the wall.
Yeah, he was going for gold, I think.
Yeah, so
trying to hold him off.
So Tamimi and Pavlotsky both made way for Tomasi and for Amadard.
Yeah, see, Atlanta's going to have to try to start with some possession here.
And I think that more than likely was due to the yellow card infractions than anything.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to get a suspension right now.
Not only is it a hit to your pocketbook, it's also you don't want to lose out on a potential of these matches, because as we were talking at the break, so many of these matches in the remainder of this season are just killer matches between some of the top teams.
I mean, it's just going to be incredible. Not only the closing weeks of the regular season, the playoffs here are setting up to be fantastic. Any one of the 8 teams can make a run.
You look at, like I talked about, you look at the top of the table and teams are separated by minuscule of points, if even that.
It's so tight. One of the things we're going to do, we had sort of a contest here with the ASMG staff and made predictions at the beginning of the season. We're going to see who was the closest at the end of the season. Yeah, we even had my buddy Kurt Hunt up there in Sunderland, England, who's involved in the predictions.
So when you look at, as it stands right now, Kalonji and Georgia Revolution will be both sitting on 27 points. Dalton United in third at 25 points. And Potros, North Georgia at 24, and Vinotinto at 23.
Yeah, just remember, Dalton also has a game in hand. It's that Vinotinto game on Wednesday that they're going to make up.
And that goes either way. If either one of those teams, if they get the points, they're right back into the fight for that regular season title.
It's amazing. So many teams with so many opportunities.
FC Atlanta able to clear it. Leon over on the far side, making his way through midfield, laying it off, coming over here to the near side. Gonzalez, what a touch. Kamani closes out the first time. Demise the second time.
He did so well with that crossfield pass. But unfortunately, the FC Atlanta player decided to dribble right into his defender instead of trying to go further right. But here they come again.
No foul, the center official says, on Delgado.
No, he just took it away from you.
He's going to stay on the deck a little longer, trying to sell it. That ball's going to get knocked out. Will be a throw for FC Atlanta.
Yeah, he's still, I mean, that wasn't a foul, so he just needs to play now. Wow, very bad pass.
Kalonji control it. White giving it back to Tiente. Going to try to get it to Sumo, and it's deflected and lose possession. FC Atlanta. Kalonji in the midfield. Go to Carr. And he passes back and forth a couple times with Amadard. He's going to go back to Carr again.
And again, you know, it appears that the result is not in doubt for Kalonji, but both of these teams are going to have to work on those goal differences.
Had an opportunity there. It's going to roll out for a corner.
So FC Atlanta going to try to keep Kalonji out and try to score. Kalonji is going to try to keep on scoring.
These set pieces have really been only on one side of the ball tonight. Kalonji with the majority of the work. Tiente, another in-swinger. This time it goes all the way through the box, rolls out for a throw for FC Atlanta. Here in the 56th minute. Another substitution ready to go for FC Atlanta. They did have a substitution at halftime. Number 19, Sepulvera, came on board. Now, number 11, Zoaga, is off. He is going to be replaced by number 15, Bakara, or Bakara, however you want to pronounce that.
And for the Dalton versus Kalonji game coming up at the end of the season, as the ball goes through all the way to the keeper, looks like we might have Jason Longshore calling that game. We'll confirm with that a little bit later. Marquee matchup.
That's going to be a Wednesday night match.
Yep.
Here at Shiloh Stadium.
Under the lights. Be a 7 p.m. kickoff.
That ball is going to be deflected, and yet again another corner for Kalonji Pro Profile. Tony Tiente getting a workout tonight.
Yeah, FC Atlanta just got to look at it as One play at a time.
Be another in-swinger for the Kalonji midfielder. Conversation going on in the box over there between two Kalonji men and FC Atlanta. Here comes the in-swinger. Right into the arms of Hollander.
Try to sneak it in there, that near post.
He's going to send it forward. Not the prettiest of balls.
Unorthodox. But they have possession, FC Atlanta.
Yeah. What matters most is he got it out. By any means necessary, right? That is a nasty slide tackle. It was fair.
Ball. The weak pass back that made it difficult.
Avendano had to win that, and luckily he kept his cleats down, and it.
Yeah, no harm, no foul, but that could have been bad.
Sepulveda gets us back underway. FC Atlanta win a throw for Kalonji. As the temperature starts to fall here in Snellville, Georgia. Currently 54 degrees. The light wind, about 5 miles an hour, so feels a little bit cooler than the thermostat would say.
FC Atlanta.
FC Atlanta holding possession.
Good move there. Get around the Kalonji player.
Sepulveda holding Phillip off.
Oh, nicely done.
Good job by the FC Atlanta man.
Almost gets
that
it through the
ball's
middle.
bouncing its way almost to an advantage for Okura, but Kalonji able to maintain. Sent forward to Sumo. He's able to hold off. Sepulveda wins a foul.
He's so tough because he's strong on the ball. It's hard to get him off of it. Got to be really physical with him.
He's not one of those players that gives up a physical challenge easily.
Yeah, he can hold you off.
That one's going to get knocked out. Will be a throw for Kalonji in the FC Atlanta's third.
Well, it's hard when you look at the playoff picture. It's hard to know who would have the biggest advantage. Of course, the home field advantage is a big deal for these teams, especially the teams like Dalton United, who have a far distance to travel. And if you have teams like FC at Birmingham, they're going to have to travel in the first round.
Georgia Revolution as well, being down in McDonough.
That's true.
You have a team like North Georgia United all the way up there in Calhoun, making that trip all the way to McDonough.
Yeah, so those things are a factor as well. Yeah, Potros is flirting with home field as well, depending on the results with Georgia Revolution, Dalton, Kalonji. Like I say, it's just all over the place. Everything depends on in the coming week or two.
Absolutely.
We will get a picture of everything, and then we start all over again with the playoffs.
Of course, we don't want to forget to mention Fountain City FC, their first season here in the Premier Division, and they are going to find that ball sent way off into Mother Nature. Their first season in the Premier Division, and they struggled a little bit throughout the season. They find their way into the playoffs.
Yeah. Yep. First season in the Premier. And we're getting a yellow card for the sub.
For somebody that was
Red
on
card.
the bench, and he's going to get a red card and another red card for people on the bench.
Yellow. There's a third card shown. That one's for dissent. So there were 2 reds shown over there to the bench. I do not know what's going on. I know there was a lot of dissension going over for some reason.
And those individuals are going to have to leave.
Yeah, they're going to have about 5 minutes.
And
you know, you hate to see that. I mean, the game is not in doubt, so why? You got to go, man. Are you trying to get the game called? That'd be unfortunate because that's going to be a fine.
yeah, that'd be a
big
fine for FC Atlanta, as well as, I mean, it's already a win for Kalonji Pro Profile.
There's another yellow. 4 cards shown, 2 of them red. People are just sitting there.
Refusing to move.
And you got to wonder why. What's the deal? And they're still sitting there. What could they be arguing about? What do you think?
That is, you are.
You know,
And in the meantime, White is going to see the end of his day.
and it looks like the manager has been given the red card. Javier Ferrer. He's slowly walking off the field.
But the
And it
player
looks like
that was
quite
red carded
deliberately.
has not. Well, but
I
then
don't
again,
know,
there he's back. The fourth
guess it'll
official
get
is right there.
I guess it'll get sorted here in a second. You know, it's one of those things, Larry, that if they don't watch out, you can get the game called. I thought I saw 2 reds given.
I agree. That's what I saw.
You know. All right, so now
We
there's
have
a
one
second person
individual that
leaving.
is walking
He's
away.
walking away now. So I guess he is going to leave.
I don't know.
I just don't understand why you would have that type of reaction with this type of game.
Yeah, because you're already down 4-0.
You're only going to hurt yourself, and if you get too funny, you get this game called off. You might be talking about points deductions, and that wouldn't be
underway.
too cool for FC Atlanta because
Yeah.
that could put you in a relegation zone.
I mean, and we're not even talking about the monetarily fine.
Good Lord. Okay.
Welcome to lower league soccer, folks.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know what was going on over there, other than a lot of language, maybe.
Kalonji Pro Profile was in an offside position.
You
Yeah,
gotta
I mean,
remember-
and that's some of what it could have been was, some type of language that was.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, FC Atlanta, they still have another game to play. They're not out of danger here. And you get yourself some suspensions, including the manager here, which I think that's who I saw walking off.
Ferrer is still over there.
Is he still over there?
I see him still over there.
Yeah, he is still over there, yeah. No, he's not. He's gone.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah, he's gone. I know we'll get the story. After the match, I'm sure we'll get a report from the referee. But, more critically for FC Atlanta, you've lost your manager for your last home game, or your last home game, last game of the season, regular season. Possibly going to need to get a point or two, depending on what Albion does. And you've lost also another player to a red card suspension coming up. It just doesn't seem very smart. No matter what your emotions are, you got to think bigger picture,
Absolutely. No foul committed there. But they almost lost it to Tiente. Somewhere through all of that, we still have a match to play as we're only in the 69th minute.
Oh, man.
Still 4-0.
Okay,
Kalonji Pro Profile and there's a yellow card that's going to be issued to the Kalonji man.
Yeah. I guess we're going to get a lot of flopping now.
Phillip is the man who committed that foul and received that piece of plastic. As we enter the 70th minute.
Yeah. It's amazing to see players talk themselves into red cards out of nothing. But the play goes on. At least we still have a full complement of players on the field.
Absolutely.
Playing.
Sepulvera receives it. Tries to work around Phillip. Phillip holds him up for a second. Sepulvera takes a shot.
Good shot.
First real work for Lionel in quite some time.
It's promising from FC Atlanta.
Laid off to Kamani, and we get back underway. Goal scoring started today in the 3rd minute by Anthony Sumo. In the 30th minute, Kareem Tamimi with his first goal back with Kalonji Pro Profile. To not be outdone, Anthony Sumo with another in the 34th. And followed up by Kalen Kalonji with a goal in the 45th minute. That gets us to 4-0. Leon misses that ball and allows Kalonji to move forward. Gets around the defense.
Yeah.
And a foul going to be committed there right off the ball as well, because Anthony Sumo had a great opportunity. If it wasn't for that foul.
Crossfield to not on the same page there.
And it was the newly entered man who committed that foul.
FC Atlanta so far in the second half have done half of the job of trying to keep Kalonji out. But he could do well by getting a consolation goal, too, to help him with the goal difference.
And there is a nasty little challenge. He's going to earn a yellow of his own. Number 14.
I've lost track of how many yellows now.
A baker's dozen. Unfortunately, I do not have a name associated with number 14.
Yeah, the referee's going to have him take it again. Yeah, I think both teams need to kind of keep their heads a little bit because they're not done with the season.
I believe number 14 should be Zane Hilton. If previous matches.
Good challenge there for Kalonji getting the ball back.
Yeah, no, the FC Atlanta man still feeling the effects of that challenge.
Yeah, it was a hard
one. Number 7, Duran.
Oh, tried to thread it through there, FC, but
good ball.
Intercepted again. Yeah, another
Hilton,
hack.
And he's going to receive a yellow.
Yeah, I mean, the players are just losing control now. I mean, that was just reckless from FC Atlanta.
We just
didn't even try to play the ball.
We just need to get through the next 17 minutes in stoppage time. The more this happens, the less stoppage time is going to be called, because the center official is just going to want to get this match over with.
I mean, you could call it early if it gets too crazy.
Exactly. Well, it's already four goals.
Yeah, but the thing
and with the activity that's happening,
what I don't understand about both sides in the way that they're hacking each other now is that, you know, the result is one thing. You might be mad about something, mad about the referee calls or whatever, but he is the official, and if you get a suspension before the end of the season, it could affect, you know, where you end up, whether it's relegation or league title in the case of Kalonji. Yeah. Got to keep your head, got to be a professional.
Kalonji, and that is right on the line.
They just don't care anymore. They just don't care.
That one, and that's going to be a red card issued to number 10, Gonzalez, his second yellow.
So he'll miss the last game. That's an automatic suspension and fine. Very smart.
And he's lucky that that's not a penalty.
Well, I mean, what's
he missed that ball sending out, and then just trying to make up for the mistake, and just stupidly takes out the Kalonji man.
Yeah.
But it's literally inches out of the box. So Gonzalez sees a red card. He's out for the rest of the match.
You know, the thing is, too, FC Atlanta, their final game. Now, it's going to be interesting because if SSL win their games in hand and Albion win their last game, FC Atlanta are in danger of being relegated.
Hollander receives that. Easy for him. In between all of what was going on, Kalonji was subbed out, replaced by number 8, Carrera.
You know, Kalonji are really good at getting into their opponents' heads, too, with the way that they play. Frustrate you. But North Georgia is going to be FC Atlanta's last game, I believe. And, of course, the last time we saw North Georgia was an 11-0 thrashing of Albion.
You are correct. Next Saturday at 2:15, FC Atlanta welcomes North Georgia United to Silverbacks Park.
So they have to be careful. You know, if Albion wins that last game, SSL wins their games in hand, FC Atlanta could drop right down to that relegation spot. So the last thing you need is to be missing your manager, missing players. Oh, look at this coming through.
That was a beautiful ball through. Unfortunately, Zane could not do anything with it, but they win it right back.
He's got a man out to the right side. He's found
Sumo, he wants that hat trick. He goes down.
Tackle.
Hollander saved.
Not sure how much he knew about it. Good position.
Amadar tried to get it forward. He lost it.
Good work by the FC Atlanta defense here.
Sumo wants that third goal for the hat trick. Carrera fights off with the help of Kamani. Sent forward for Sumo. He is just able to run it down.
Going to take on his man.
Good
nice
ball into the
in.
box. Tiente heads it, holds, shot, goal for Kalonji Pro Profile in a superb team goal there. It's 5-0.
You got to give a lot of credit to Anthony Sumo on that right side. He went hit toe-to-toe with his defender. The second defender came over from FC Atlanta. Good cross in, headed up, and just a nice one-timer into the back of the net. Fantastic goal there by Kalonji Pro Profile. Good team goal.
Number 14. And if it holds exactly what it was in match past, because We didn't have it on our roster received. It should have been Zane Hilton who received that goal here in the 78th minute, as this game is starting to...
Yeah, it doesn't help that FC Atlanta are down a man. Self-inflicted issue on themselves.
Starting to move into dangerous territory because it's getting spicy.
Kalonji have done themselves quite a favor here with the measure of the victory that they are about to have here.
We knew that they wanted to make a statement after that loss to Georgia Revolution.
Well, they've got, you know, the incentive back now with this win, because with the goal difference that they've got, and they play their main rival, Dalton United, in the last game, they actually control their own destiny. They can win this if they win out. Win the division, that is. FC Atlanta have done themselves a lot of damage today, but a lot for them depends on what happens with Albion and what happens with SSL. Can SSL pull out any victories?
Well, we know that they've got 3 points with the
that's right, next week
Atlanta City gift. So that puts them
right
at 5 points.
Yeah, it's getting dangerous for FC Atlanta then.
Carrera takes a shot.
Ooh, almost just out wide to the right.
Hollander has to make a aerobatic challenge of a save, even though it was wide. He needed to at least put out the...
Yeah, flick on. Had time. Kind of sliced it a little bit, but still an opportunity there for Kalonji. So, yeah, that's right. SSL are going to get 3 points next week. Wow, there's a little sloppy there from the keeper from FC Atlanta. Could have been an embarrassing goal there.
Be a throw for FC Atlanta. They're down to 10 men. Gonzalez shown a red card. That goes on top of the red card that was shown to the head coach.
Yeah, they need to try to make sure they don't get any more red cards.
Here's an opportunity for FC Atlanta.
It's got a little help in the middle. Try to go.
Deflected off of Kamani. He's able to keep. No, it is going to be a corner. The AR is calling for the corner. I think this might be the first corner of the match for FC Atlanta.
They need to try to score on this. Kalonji's going to have the advantage in size in the middle.
I can't remember FC Atlanta with a corner.
I don't really remember one either, unless it was the first half and I just forgot.
It's been a marathon of a match. It'll be an outswinger.
Be another one.
And they get to do it again.
Not the most fluid or beautiful game to watch, but a vital one. Plenty of drama.
Outswinger number 2.
Oh, opportunity there.
Not able to control his body. Sees it out for a throw for Kalonji here in the 82nd minute. We'll see what center official decides to do in regards to stoppage time, with the score being 5-0.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about the outcome. It's just a matter of, can FC Atlanta get a consolation goal, or will Per Profile continue to pile on here?
Kamani Irving gives it off to Carr. Tiente. The other thing that Kalonji Pro Profile need to make sure is that they get out of this with no injuries.
Yeah, they made some critical substitutions already safeguard some players. Oh,
That
rebounded
ball
off.
rebounds off of Sumo, and it'll be a goal kick for FC Atlanta, especially as the temperature has been dropping throughout this match. It's getting a little stronger when you hit the
Coming
deck.
through.
FC Atlanta have to all hands on deck clearance. That got punched away by Demise. It claims it's still 54, but I felt like it's dropped another 2 or 3 degrees up here.
Still decent weather for the game.
Absolutely.
A clear night, a little misty.
Us Midwesterners, it's still barbecue weather. Thrown in, but Tiente cuts it off. Duran
Good
sends
through
it
ball,
forward, but Lionel controls that ball. Thought about throwing it out, elects just to pass it out to Kamani. He's going to send it over to Demise. Lovely little touch to Carr. Carr gives it back and allows it to move down the line. Carr hits the deck.
Referee having a little talk.
FC Atlanta man gets a talking to, as I'm sure that's a last warning, or he'll have his own plastic to think about. Number 6, Rosario.
Yeah, I think now it's going to have to be damage control over both of these teams.
Carrera is going to send it over to Tomasi. Tomasi's going to send it long. Amadard's not going to get it. It'll be a throw for Kalonji here in the 85th minute. We had a very, very quick, what seemed like quick 45, and this second 45 has been a long one.
Yeah, not a lot of football in the second half. A lot of arguing, a lot of diving, a lot of unruly play. But, again, the drama is there because there's a lot at stake for what's happening. And this really makes it interesting for other matches that we're going to see. Dalton and Venutito.
Here's
Albion.
a ball to the goal scorer, Hilton.
Got meat
Lays
in
it
the
off
middle.
to Sumo. Sumo
He
hits
wants
it.
another.
Deflected off of the defender. You heard
it out.
that connection.
FC Atlanta holding on in defense.
Demise puts it back into play.
Still would help if FC Atlanta can snatch a goal here late.
As of right now, it's a +2 for Kalonji Pro Profile over Georgia Revolution, as they'll be in first place after this.
Just shows you how tight it is going from 5th to 1st after this result.
And in one match, 5th to 1st.
Not a light separating these clubs.
They'll leave this match with a +20. Georgia Revolution currently on a +18. Cleared by Demise. It deflects off, but they're going to come back to the foul that was committed before as advantage was played.
It didn't quite develop, I don't think, so he's going to get it placed back. And FC Atlanta player down at the moment in that last challenge.
Let's see, he's still slowly getting up. That is number 17 who was down.
He's going to try to walk that off.
And Leon is over the ball. Sepulvera.
More blue shirts coming up front here. It's got some space off to the left side. Now it's being closed down. Going to go straight in, off the wall.
And it will be another corner.
Weird about the dead ball situation. Sometimes it's taking a little while to get the ball back into play.
Be an in-swinger from Sepulveda.
Oh.
Here comes Kalonji Pro Profile. Ball up to Sumo. And just
Good tackle.
Just a bit in front of him and an absolute superb tackle. FC Atlanta lose it in the midfield. Carr and Tiente. Demise lets Tiente have it back. 89 minutes have gone. Kalonji now are just going to want to possess the ball, see this game out.
Shaving a few seconds off, keeping possession here.
Phillip, he's moving forward. Gets past the defender. A little bit of a touch. Not able to do anything with that one on the backside. And they'll go out for a goal kick. As we enter the 90th minute. We'll see what type of stoppage time the center official elects to do. And got a player down for FC Atlanta. I believe it's the same player that was down a few moments ago, and indeed it is. Number 12. Leo Delgado is who's down. Looks like he took a shot to the shin. Have the shin guard shrunk over the decades?
Back into the dying minutes here.
"90 minutes have elapsed. We're down to stoppage time, whatever the center referee deems necessary. It is currently Kalonji Pro Profile 5, FC Atlanta 0. Anthony Sumo fighting off two defenders. Finally loses possession. Sepulveda losing it in the midfield, winning it back with a beautiful tackle. Kamani Irving just a step in front of him. And that is going to do it, folks.
Yeah, I think you were right, Larry. I think he didn't want to go any further with the way that the behavior of some of the players was going. I think he just wanted to cut it off. There was no doubt about the winner here.
Absolutely none at all. We end our doubleheader with Kalonji Pro Profile 5, FC Atlanta 0. Just an all-around superb performance from Kalonji Pro Profile tonight.
Yeah, it really was. I think that they comfortably, I think the early part was the key for them. They jumped on FC Atlanta early, got the goals, and then they were able to relax and play their individual talented game that they normally would like to play. FC Atlanta, for their part, worked hard at certain times, but they lost discipline there in the second half. And, it's the kind of thing that could hurt them. I don't think it hurt them too bad now because they did lose a couple of players to red cards, so that's going to be suspensions. But a lot now just depends on what happens with Albion and SSL from their point of view. Because if Albion wins and FC Atlanta loses their last game against North Georgia, and SSL wins their games in hand, FC Atlanta could be relegated. And so that's the way they need to be thinking. They need to really get a result there and hope that Albion loses and hope that SSL can't get the points that they need.
A lot at stake with just a small window left. A brace from Anthony Sumo, a goal for the returning Kareem Tamimi, and to finish it off, a goal from Zane Hilton, along with a goal from Kalen Kalonji, sends us off to Kalonji Pro Profile 5, FC Atlanta 0. That's going to do it here for ASMG TV. For Andre Bomar, I've been Larry Weaver. If you like what we do, do not forget to like and subscribe to get all of the live action as well as the content that happens throughout the week. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time here on ASMG TV.
This has been a presentation of the UPSL. Any use of this broadcast without the written consent of the Atlantic Soccer Media Group is prohibited.